To light a wood fire in a Hobbit, we've got a bucket of logs, which should last us all day, a small amount of kindling, and a couple of flamers to light the stove. There is a bed of ash in the firebox from the last fire, which we're going to leave and just riddle a hole in the middle. So just make sure we get some air into the base of the fire to light it. Place the firelighters into the firebox and then put the kindling on top. And light the fire. So while the fire's just getting going, leave the door slightly ajar, the bottom air wheel open and the secondary air wheel at the back also open. Once the kindling's caught, then close the stove door. So the kindling is now burning nicely, and we want to leave it like this for 2 to 3 minutes until the bed started to form, and it's just warming up the stove and the flue to make that start working as well before we slowly start building up the fire with some logs. So after a few minutes the kindling's burnt down a little. We're going to add the first small logs. Remember, the stove's starting to get hot, so use the tool to open the door. And add some small logs. So it's important to build the fire up slowly with the small logs. You can see that those logs are now starting to burn nice and brightly because they're dry. Once the first few logs have caught, then it's worth winding in the primary air to cut down the air supply a little bit. So now the first 2 logs have burnt down. We've added some more logs, but remember, if the stove is brand new and this is the first fire you're having, you need to repeat the process with a couple of logs to make sure you slowly build up the temperature of the stove and cure the paint. So once those logs are nicely burning, the air can be closed off to the stove by first closing the primary air at the front, closing the secondary valve at the back, which controls the rate of burn of the fire. You can see the flames there nicely, slowly dancing around the firebox. So the primary air control on the bottom door allows air to enter the stove mainly underneath the fire, through the fire, but some air does go in the back. And by opening it, you can see the fire starts running more vigorously. When you've got a well-established fire also, if you riddle the grate, it will allow more air through the embers of the fire to increase the effect. And we'll close it back up again. So the secondary air control mounted at the back allows preheated air directly into the top of the fire, above the fire, promoting secondary combustion and also keeping the glass clean. So you can see, if we now start closing off that air, you'll see it starts immediately slowing the fire down, and you can really control the flame and the rate of burn. What's that noise? Bacon sandwich time.